Well, I think the start I was like kind of a little bit tangled up going into the run up, but somehow I ended at the front, at the top of the run up. So I was realizing that run up, the no tubes run up, was my spot on the course. And right after that, just gunning it. And I liked the top section. Crystal Anthony and I sort of got away early, and she was really strong pulling in the wind quite a bit and super powerful on the flats, and then she got like a few seconds on me, and I just couldn't close the gap at first. Finally, in the technical sections, I was sort of making up time on the corners and catching back up, and so we regrouped with a few laps to go, and I could tell she was starting to get a little sloppy, like sort of when she went over the barrier, she tripped on the first one and almost ran into the second. I was like, uh-oh, that's a high barrier. Like, I just knew. So my goal today was to stay really smooth and just read the race and do what I had to be in the right position. Try not to do too much, because sometimes I'm like, I'm going to go off the front, I'd go off the front and take this by myself, but it's not the case anymore. I mean, these fields are really strong, and you just got to be careful about those matches that you burn. So I got lucky with getting just a few seconds with 2 to go, and I knew that she was going to have trouble closing it, but she definitely did close it. But I was also maintaining a rhythm, thinking about tomorrow. I'm like, I'm racing tomorrow. Okay, let's just do this, but I don't need to like win by a mile. I can just get to the line first. And
right.
So it worked out well today. I'm really, really stoked to be here. Felt like my equipment was just like amazing. These no tubes wheel sets with the clinchers gave me just the perfect traction on those turns. Like, so I was able to, I chose the small block Kendas, which are really like a large profile tire that just, it's wide. It feels like you can corner and get pretty low and not slip out. And I think that's why I actually was able to win today, because I had such great traction, and yeah, my bike was perfect.
Yeah. So this is a very tactical course for sure. Like,
it was.
You really have to think about it. So going into it, did you kind of assess who was going to be there and like?
Oh yeah, I knew I was checking this bike reg start list. I was like, okay, that's okay. I've got some competition. I'm not gonna. So I knew when I was training last night, I was looking at the course like, oh gosh, so many straightaways and wide open wind. So today when I got here, I was checking like what wind direction, okay, where am I going to be sitting in, where am I definitely going to be like trying to get a little bit of a gap. So I picked my places, and it worked out good. So I feel grateful for the experience, and it was just awesome to be here. I mean, they do such a great job with this race, and it's one of my favorites actually. Yeah.
All right, talk to me. Were you ever worried because Adam Craig was in this race?
I mean, I've known Adam for a long time. He's a very strong rider, but also like one of the most talented technical riders that I've ever been able to know. So yeah, he always, anytime, he was basically pushing the pressure in the corners way more than I was, and way more than anyone else was. So it was impressive when he went to the front. He just kind of strung the whole group out, and it was good. It's always fun to watch him ride the corners and stuff like that. It's like,
yeah,
that's why he got 5th at a World Cup.
Yeah.
He's quick in the corners.
And this is, how long has it been since you've gotten to do this race? It's been a while, right?
I've done the race a couple years ago with Driscoll, I think in 09 or something like that, and then I announced it, I think in 2010 maybe. I know it's been a bit, but yeah, it's really been nice to just be home after being in the Czech Republic for those World Cups for two weeks, to be home and just have a nice couple of days, to train and use this race as training as well. So it's been perfect, and my dog's here.
That's true. You do have a dog here. You have a fiance here as well.
It's very nice. Both of them are here.
Very cool. So did the race play out the way you expected it to?
It was very fast. It was faster than the last time I did it, and the New England riders are always really good. So I'm not discounting anything. Nothing's ever a sure thing. And I just, like I said, I rode a bunch before this race, and so I just was trying to use this as like a high-end session for me. And yeah, I wasn't as sharp as I normally would be, but that also comes from riding and also being a little bit jet lagged still. So it was a great race and a good day, and I'm happy to have been able to take the win in front of the hometown.
Yeah. Were you hoping that Duran was gonna end up podiuming? Or?
Certainly, Duran had his opportunity. You know, there was when Justin crashed and he was off the front, and you know, he definitely got a good opportunity to go for it, and I wasn't going to drag the other riders across. So when I went across to those guys, I just kind of went clean and got back to them. And Duran will win a race when it's time. You know, Tim and Mark McCormick and those guys never gave me races. Ryan never gave me a race, and so I won't give Duran a race, but I will. When he's good enough, he will seize the opportunity, and that will be great. You know, so it's better to work hard and get it than to be given, that kind of thing.
For sure. Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You rode a good race today. It was very
Yeah, I think it might be my best result to date. Finishing on the podium with Power is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's good, and Adam Craig's good, and Justin Lindine's good. Milnes, I mean, there's a bunch of good guys here, so this has to be pretty much my best result.
And it pretty much counts as a win.
Pretty much, yeah. he's hard to compete with, so.
Count, yeah.
No, he doesn't count. That's. Yeah.
So tell me about the race.
It was really fast. It was really hard. It was really pretty easy for the first 2 laps. Like Powers was dictating the pace. I don't think anybody wanted to take charge, and just watched him. And then finally Craig started going hard and shooting through the corners really fast. And then it just split up. Crashes happened. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just sat back, and relaxed.
Yeah. Do you think everyone just kind of chills out in the beginning because they're waiting for Powers?
Yeah, I think they're all like, all right, when's he gonna pull a World Cup attack? And he never really did. I think he's chilling for the weekend and trying to reserve himself. And finally, I mean, the gaps forming, he came across really hard at the end and did his thing. So.
This is a power course. Do you think it was well suited for you? Or?
I think pretty much. I have some good power this year, and I think just being smart and not wasting energy. Like I didn't hit the front once the entire race, and Milne was on the front, Justin was on the front, everyone was on the front except for me. So. Yeah.
What about Milne? He just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean he's a great road racer, and he can have some good cross races, but he rode really well today, and he's got a huge engine, so this is perfect for him.
Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a course suited for a road
yeah, it was him, and I knew I didn't want to take him to the sprint because he's a former national criterium champion, so so I gapped him.
And then other than an awesome second place, you've got your Sausage King status going on.
Sausage King status, less obnoxious as last year when I first launched it, but it's selling some good sausages over there and raising money.
So now, does that mean you learned a lesson about being obnoxious, or does that mean you just toned down
I think I just toned down the obnoxious. Last year I took my shirt off and worked for myself, buy my sausage.
That's true.
It was obnoxious. This year we're doing a little bit more professional. Got a good crew over there. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
what's
awesome.
the goal for it? Is there
The goal for it is to raise $2,000 to help get Anthony Clark to nationals for the Jam Fund, to get me to nationals, and to offset my costs going to Europe again. So I want to go over and compete in the World Cups again and get some World Cup points. And
nice.
Started second row. Was good to ride with these guys in the front. It was my first time starting with Jeremy Power on the start, so it was good racing with such a good rider. And I was glad I was in the front group. I was surprised there was so many people. We were like over 10 people, I think.
Yeah.
And let's say midpoint of the race, like after 40 minutes, I think, I was in Adam's Craig wheel. He crashed. I had his bike in my face, crashed also. So it took me a lap to get the feeling back and get my mind back too.
Yeah.
I was kind of knocked out, but good race so far. Considering all these things. So
what did you think of the course?
it was great, like fast, a lot of power involved, and a lot of switchbacks. I liked it.
Good for a mountain biker, or?
Not really. Like these fans were okay. Like I was able to do the double bunny up stuff, but these run up, like I'm not good at run up, so I'll need to work on it.
Yeah, you definitely looked tired on the last lap run up.
Yeah, I was knocked out.
Did you tell her about your crash?
Yeah, like my finger hurts, my back hurts.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I'll take it easy recovery night.
Spent a nice night on the couch?
Yeah.
Awesome. Where did you crash?
In the sand pit, like, let's say a minute before the finish line.
Okay.
With 2 laps to go, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, then did you pass Adam at the end, or?
No.
Alright, well, awesome job.
Yeah.
Goals for tomorrow?
LT, top 5, top 3.
Alright.
Yeah, I felt strong, and I was up there, so
yeah.
why not?